I basically done everything that I'm gonna advise you guys not to do. I almost bought a car on the side of the road. Insurance is gonna do you dirty.
I can do it in my left, or do it in my right, I'll get myself paid. They keep talking about the grind, but ain't got the hustle, never take my place.
Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Obviously the location is different, I'm sitting in my car because today I'm filming sort of like tips on buying your first car, what you need to know, what you need to consider, and yeah, I hope you enjoy and I hope you find this helpful. The lighting is dead, but don't watch that, it's okay, you don't need to see me too tough. Yeah, the first thing you need to think about is like what you're using your car for and like what kind of car you want. So if it's a thing of like you're going to be carrying a lot of people, are you going to be on the motorway a lot, do you like, what brand car do you want, what model, 3 or 5 door, like are there going to be a lot of passengers? Don't really care like about, you know, the passengers in the back. Whether you want to use petrol or diesel, because obviously I think diesel is better for long journeys, but I know now that there's a lot of things coming in where diesel is actually not that great. So yeah, obviously like the transmission and stuff, automatic, manual, you need to be considering that. Like, do you want to be driving manual even if you learnt manual? The next thing to consider is in terms of payment wise, all the things you need to pay for. So first of all, starting with obviously the car itself, are you buying the car outright or are you financing the car? Obviously there's different types of finance. You've got I think it's HP, PCP, and then you can do a personal loan. They all mean different things. Do your Googles and find out. But you basically need to think like, if you give the car back after like 3 years and then one of them you have the choice after the end of the term to pay off the amount and keep it, I believe. So yeah, obviously if you're loaning the car in 3 years time, what's your financial position going to be like? Are you going to be able to continue paying that for the 3 years or however long the duration is? Can you afford that monthly payment? If you even have a slight inkling that you might not be able to pay every payment and you might miss a payment, you better not finance the car. It's actually not that deep. Like, it will mash up your credit and they'll come and take the car, because remember, you don't own that car. That car is not yours, you're loaning it. Once you've like decided if whether you want to finance the car, obviously it's up to you, it depends on your financial position. I can't say one is better than the other. There's pros and cons of each one, so you just need to research and find out what works for you best. You then need to also consider if you're leasing the car, doing any HP, PCP, personal loan, you need to find out what happens if the car gets written off, because you might think, oh, my car's not gonna get written off. My car got written off like a couple months back, so let's not even talk about that one, and it was not my fault at all. I wasn't driving, so you never ever know. You need to consider, okay, like obviously if I'm loaning the car, if the car gets written off, then what? Because it's not my car. So what happens in those types of situations, you need to know, because when it now happens and oh oopsie, you have to now pay for yeah, it's long. So find out what you're agreeing to basically. Other payments you need to consider, obviously once you've figured out what you want to do with the car, okay, you can afford the monthly payments if you're going to finance the thing. Can you afford the insurance, honey? If you live in London, I'm so sorry, but if you live in London, your insurance is long. If you live anywhere central, long. You can't get a big car basically. You can't get a big car, honey. You better, that car that you were thinking of, you better reduce your expectations, because the insurance is rude, because your insurance is gonna do you dirty. But yeah, you need to figure out what your insurance is. I recommend Compare the Market, Money Supermarket shows which one is cheapest. Tips with searching for insurance, a couple things. The first thing is, obviously when you first start searching for insurance, you just need to know roughly the amount. Search it, like you can search it a couple times, whatever, see roughly how much it's going to be once you put on all your information, your annual mileage, that type of thing. Try as well, switch it up with things, so where it will be like if it's parked on a drive outside your house, you can try and alter that a little bit. The next thing that you do is, before you actually get the insurance, so say you're just searching, you haven't actually got the car yet or whatever, and you're just to have an idea, so obviously you can work out the finances before you, then when you're actually ready to buy the car, it's better to book the insurance. So if you're buying the car tomorrow, me doing the insurance now is not a good idea. You need to try and do it as far ahead as possible. The earliest you can book the insurance to start is a month before, and the further away the start date is from the time that you actually like book the insurance online, the cheaper it will be, because obviously they can see you're in a rush if you're trying to do it now. Also, when you're actually going to actually pay for it, don't keep searching because the price will go up. The price changes every day also, so bear that in mind. Don't search a lot, just kind of have an idea of how much it is, and when you're going to pay for it, then just put it through and pay. You can also, if you see the cheapest one, you can also call them and ask them like, can they lower it, because sometimes they do. It's worth trying. Instead of adding roadside assistance as well, or AA, you can do that separately. If your car now breaks down on the road, who are you gonna call? 118. Anyway, you need to have someone that what is 118? Is that even still exist? I don't know. But yeah, you need to have roadside assistance in case anything happens. Like if you're stuck on the side of the road, like who you gonna cut? Insurance as well, you're paying monthly or you're paying annually. You need to think like, obviously, if you're financing the car as well and you're paying monthly, can you afford the monthly insurance on top of that? Don't put your excess to, oh my car's not gonna get written off, and it can get written off. Payments, petrol, you need to figure out like engine size wise, like how big the engine of the car is. Obviously if it's bigger, it's gonna use more petrol and stuff, and like you need to look at the efficiency of the car. I believe you can look at the efficiency of the car, so I believe that's the gallons per hour, but it also depends like how you drive. If you drive a manual, but like you can see how efficient like cars are, like which one is better. Obviously some cars, generally the way they're made, they use less petrol. Obviously if your car's newer, it probably uses less petrol. Sometimes as well, if the car's a bit newer, like it will drive, same at a 1.2, you might drive like a 1.4, etc. Road tax, if you're getting, I think it's a car before 2015, some diesel cars, I don't know, you need to figure out which cars, do your research on which cars do and don't. My road tax is £20 for the year, or £30, but some cars it's like 100 and something or 200 and something. So find out how much your road tax is for your car, because all cars are different. If you live in London, drive in London a lot, you need to figure out if your car has obviously congestion charge, everyone will pay, but I think it's called ULEZ, the low commission zone. Some cars have to pay for that. I'm not sure which cars are it, but I don't know. Do your Googles again, find out what is your car if you're going to be driving in those kind of places. Service and MOT, can you afford the service? You don't have to get your car service, that's optional, but if you have like a fairly new car, something you might want to consider. And also if it already has a full service history and you want to keep that up, obviously that's a yearly fee. MOTs are every year, honey, and you need to think, okay, like what MOTs are like 30 to 50 pounds, but if it fails the MOT, have you got funds on the side to fix whatever's wrong with it? Price of the MOT and like money aside in case it fails the MOT, like can you fix it, because you can't drive your car if it fails. Actually, in terms of buying the car, so whether you want to go to a dealer or whether you want to go private, so private is literally me selling my car to a random person, so that's like using Auto Trader, Gumtree, all of that type of thing. That's and then there's two types of dealers. So you can go to Volkswagen and get the car from there directly, so you can get approved cars and also new cars, and then you can go to other dealers like Evans-Hauschel, for example, and then they sell like different cars, but they are like a known dealer, if that makes car giant, I want to say. So yeah, obviously the perks of a dealer is you kind of have a little bit of peace of mind. More time the car is in a better condition, more time, not all the time. Obviously you can get warranty as well, which you can pay an extra price for, but although on the other hand, dealers can do you dirty just like a private seller can. So don't get it twisted, don't think, oh, because I've gone to dealer everything is fine. This is actually my second car. Like I said, my car got written off. Both times I went to a dealer and they both did me dirty each time, so really and truly, like, what was the point? Still get a warranty, it's still better, but like you still have to be careful with dealers. In terms of the warranty, you have to read the wording, because if something goes wrong, it's not absolutely everything that's covered under the warranty. They know what they're doing. It's more like mechanical problems, not small thing, and it can go left. It can go very left, and obviously once you've sold the car and something's wrong, it's not their business anymore. Long story short, imagine I almost bought a car on the side of the road, the ghetto, but no, like honestly, it's not worth it. If you're not sure, don't do it. if obviously you can go with someone who like knows a lot about cars and you feel safe and whatnot, go for it. If you're actually car viewing, some things that you need to consider, obviously, like when you go to view the car, you need to ask bare questions. Like ask as many questions as possible. Obviously, if it has a full service history, if it has current MOT, on the MOT, if there's advisories, you can search that yourself if the car is older than 3 years. So obviously you don't have an MOT in the first 3 years. You can search it online, see if there's any like advisories, if it's failed the MOT before, so you know that issues that have happened in the past, if there are like any current issues coming up. Check everything, and I mean every tiny little detail. Check it. Tires, petrol cap, all the lights are working, switches, knobs, buttons, all of that. Check absolutely everything. Check the upholstery, if like there's any rips or tears in the seating or the leather. Open the bonnet. Obviously go with someone, try and go with someone who knows a bit about cars if you can. Check the petrol cap. Again, like this car, when I got it, I basically done everything that I'm gonna advise you guys not to do. Wait, I bought a car without ever seeing the car. Make it make sense, guys. What was I thinking? Like, make it make sense. I have never seen this car and I bought it. I paid for it, I bought it, and it got shipped. What was I thinking? But yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. This car's fine, but nah, it's not worth it. Also, if you can, test drive twice if possible. Like, don't feel pressured. If you go to like a dealer and you feel like intense pressure where they're kind of like, no, you should buy the car, run. I'm very much a strong believer of the perfect car will come for you. Like, if you want a specific car, you're like, oh, it's the last one, I'm not gonna, trust me, another car will come up. Like, there's cars all the time. Don't rush to buy a car and then end up buying the wrong car. Basically, the first car I got, I rushed because I was impatient. But don't do that. Like, try and take your car. You've got your whole life to drive. Like, it's actually okay. If you don't need to rush, then. But yeah, I hope those little tips helped. And if you're watching this, you haven't got your car yet, it's actually okay. Your car's gonna come up. Like, there's a lot of cars. Don't stress that the car's coming to you. The car will come to you. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Message down below or DM me on my Instagram. I'm happy to help. And I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.